Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. We got the final game of this three-game series, the rubber match between the Minnesota Twins and Kansas City Royals. Leading off for the Twins, playing second is Knobloch. Batting second, playing first base is Carew. Batting third, playing center field is Puckett. Batting fourth, on the catching is Meyer. Batting fifth, playing third base is Killebrew. Batting sixth, playing right field is Oliva. Batting seventh, playing left field is Bostock. Batting eighth, playing shortstop is Polanco. Batting ninth, and on the mound is Frank Viola. And for the hometown Kansas City Royals, leading off, playing left field is Damon. Batting second, playing center field is Wilson. Batting third, playing first base is Sweeney. Batting fourth, doing the catching is Perez. Batting fifth, playing right field is Collins. Batting sixth, playing shortstop is Washington. Batting seventh, playing third base is BRET. Batting eighth, playing second base is White. And on the mound, batting ninth is SABERHAGEN. Let's get down here to KC and get this game started. And Chuck Knobloch to lead it off, batting .211 with 2 homers and 6 RBIs. This is Bret Saberhagen's third appearance. He's 0-1 with a 5.68 ERA. And here's the pitch. That's going to be a ground ball down to Sweeney. He picks it up, takes it himself, and there's one down. Brings up Rod Carew. And Carew's batting .286 with a homer and 3 RBIs. And that's going to be a rare play. 54-36. That's going to be a swing and a miss, strike one. So here's the 0-1 pitch to Carew. And that's going to be against the righty. That is going to be a single. Nope, that is going to be a ground ball down the short. Nice play by Washington. Gets to it, fires over the first, and takes a base hit away for Rod Carew. And Kirby Puckett comes to the plate, batting .167 with a homer and 7 RBIs. And he gets a hold of this, Puckett does. Where's this one going to land at, folks? And that ball is high. That ball is far. And that ball is out of here. Kiss it goodbye, Kirby Puckett. That was a big play down there by Washington. It's a 1-0 game instead of 2-0. Myers up now, batting .407, off to a great start with no homers and 6 RBIs. And Joe, that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. Wilson back near the track makes the catch, but the solo homer. Twins won. Kansas City coming to the plate. Kansas City's going to have Damon, Wilson, and Sweeney due up. And Johnny's batting .119 with no homers and 3 RBIs. This is Frank Viola's third appearance. He's 1-0 with a 2.25 ERA. And that's going to be a base on balls, and he walks. Johnny doesn't like having that 1-run lead, I guess. That brings up Willie Wilson now. And Wilson batting .283 with no homers and 2 RBIs. And he gets a hold of this, and that's going to be against the lefty. It'll be a 13, and that's going to be a fly ball out to Puckett in center field for out number 1. And Johnny's going to take off and try to steal here. Be a 62 or less. He's safe. And he's in there with a stolen base. So Johnny's down at second now with 1 out. And you got Mike Sweeney up. And Sweeney's batting .238. He's got 2 homers and 5 RBIs. And that's going to be 13. That's going to be a base hit in the left field. Let's see here. 138. I don't think he's going to be going anywhere. He's going to probably stop at third. Yeah, he's going to stop at third. You got the big boys coming up here. So it's going to be first and third. And one down. Perez is up. And they're going to look for a double play ball. Frank VIOLA is to get out of this mess. As Philip Reynolds stops by, check out his channel, folks. And Perez is batting .240. He's got 2 homers and 5 RBIs. And that ball is high. That ball is far. Kiss it goodbye. Perez is just giving Kansas City a 3-1 lead here. The ball's flying out here in KC today. 3 runs scored on homers. Now it's a 3-1 game. Nobody on. 1 out for Al Cowens. Cowens batting .250. He's got a homer and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out the center field. Puckett at the track makes the catch. These balls are cranking out of here, folks. That one just missed. Now Washington's up. And UL's batting .250 with no homers and no RBIs. And he drives that ball in the right field. Tony Oliva gets over there quickly, cuts it off, holds UL to a single. Well, there's 2 down and Washington at second. And he's going to take off and down at first and try to get down the second. That'll be a 30, which is a 56 or lower. He's safe at second. And he's in there with a stolen base. So runner again in scoring position for Mr. George BRET. See if BRET can drive him in here. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. That'll end the inning, but the 3-run homer by Perez makes it a 3-1 ball game as we go to the top of the second. You've got Killebrew due up, followed by Oliva and Bostock. Killebrew batting .278. He's got 4 homers and 8 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. BRET strikes him out. BRET's first strikeout of the game. Now you got Tony Oliva up. Oliva batting .250 with a homer and 2 RBIs. And he gets a hold of this. Like I say, this ball is flying today, folks. Just flying out of here. And that ball is out of here. Kiss it goodbye. Tony Oliva makes it a 1-run ball game. So SABERHAGEN's giving up 2 hits, both of them homers. And now you got Bostock up batting .217 with no homers and 2 RBIs. That's going to be a deep fly ball. Wilson back, makes the catch for out number 2. And Polanco comes up. Jorge batting .320. He's got a homer and 7 RBIs, off to a great start this year. And that's going to be a ground ball down to his counterpart Washington at short. He fires over to first, but the solo homer makes it a 3-2 ball game. So we go to the bottom of the second. KC hanging on to a 1-run lead. You got White, SABERHAGEN, and then back to Johnny. Frank White's batting .250 with no homers and 1 RBI. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Frank strikes him out. The Frank and Frank show. And VIOLA wins that battle. Now you got SABERHAGEN up. He's 0 for 5 on the year. Here's the pitch to him. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Killebrew. He fires over to Carew for out number 2. We're back to the top of the order and Damon. And Damon, he walked, stole a base, and came around to score back in the first. And that's going to be a fly ball out to left field. Bostock makes the catch. And that'll end the inning. KC goes down 1-2-3. As Frank settles down here in the second. And we go to the top of the third. You got Frank VIOLA due up, followed by Nylock and Carew. Frank's 0 for 5 on the year. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. SABERHAGEN strikes him out. 2 strikeouts now for Brett. Back to the top of the order in Knobloch. He's 0 for 1. And he's going to be back-to-back strikeouts. Can SABERHAGEN strike out the side, folks? He's got a hard man to strike out up now, Rod Carew. He's 0 for 1 today. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Willie Wilson. And that'll be a 1-2-3 top of the third. So both guys have settled down here. And we go to the bottom of the third in a 3-2 game. Wilson, Sweeney, and Perez is up. And Willie is 0 for 1. He flew out to his counterpart in center field. This is a ground ball down the short. Easy play for out number 1. And now you got Mike Sweeney up. And Sweeney, he singled and came around to score in the first. And that's going to be the lefty of 13. That's going to be a infield hit for Sweeney. So Sweeney gets aboard here with a 1-out single. And here comes the man that hit the 3-run homer his first time out, Perez. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be against the lefty at 12. And that's going to be a single and line drive single into left field. Sweeney with his speed's going to stay put. So you got first and second now. Perez 2 for 2. Now Collins is up now with a runner in scoring position, trying to add some insurance runs here. And Collins, he flew out to center his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. And that's going to be probably fielding column 3. Yep, that's going to be fielding column 3. And that's going to be a line drive, and the runners are going to hold. So line drive, and the runners get back. Now there's 2 outs. It's up to Washington to deliver here. And UL singled and stole a base his first time up. And that's just going to be a ground ball down the short. And he'll fire over to second the short way. And that'll be out number 3. KC Strands 2 to the top of the 4th we go. Got the big boys due up here for the Twins. Puckett, Joe, and Killebrew. And Kirby, he's 1 for 1 with a solo homer. His first time up. And this is a ground ball down to BRET for out number 1. And here comes Joe up now. Joe's 0 for 1. He flew out his first time up. That's going to be a rare play, a 36 and a 51. And that's going to be strike 1 on him. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Joe. And that's going to be against the righty, a 16. That's going to be an infield hit for Joe. So he gets aboard here with a 1-out single. That brings up Killebrew here, who could give the Twins the lead with 1 swing and a bat. Killebrew struck out his first time up against SABERHAGEN. And that's going to be a lazy fly ball out to Damon and left for out number 2. And up to the plate's Tony Oliva. And Tony is batting 1 for 1 today. He had a solo homer his first time up. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. Where's this ball going to land? That ball is high. That ball is far. Tony's having one hell of a game, folks. His second homer of the game gives the Twins a 4-3 lead here. SABERHAGEN is giving up 4 hits. 3 of them homers, folks. And is trailing this game 4-3. The ball's going out of the park with ease today. Bostock's up. He's 0 for 1 today. And this ball is hit hard. Where's Bostock going to drop this one out? That ball is driven into the gap off the wall. And they're hitting SABERHAGEN hard when they're making contact. So that's a 2-out double. Can Jorge deliver here and give the Twins an insurance run? He's 0 for 1 today. And he does, folks. All of a sudden, Brett SABERHAGEN is in a heap of trouble. And that's going to be a single in the right field. Collins has got a gun out there, but with 2 outs, 51, 30, they're going to be sending him here. And that'll be a 56 or lower. He's safe. And he's in there. So that's an RBI single by Polanco. Plus it gets Frank. Oh, we didn't score the runner. Do that now. Go back here. Do an undo. And that brings up VIOLA too. So you score a run, make it 5-3. And you got Frank VIOLA out of the way. Runner down at first and 2 outs. And Frank's going to ground this ball back to Brett. Brett's up with it. He tosses it over to first. But the Twins score 3 on a 2-run homer and an RBI double and make it a 5-3 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 4th. You got Brett, White, and SABERHAGEN, the bottom third of the lineup, due up here against Frank. Now with a 2-run lead. Here's the pitch to Frank. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. That'll be out number 1. Brings up Frank White and Frank VIOLA. And in the battle of the Franks the first time, VIOLA struck White out. He's 0 for 1. And this time, White works a base on ball. So now you got SABERHAGEN up. He's going to try to bunt White down the second here. And that's going to be a 23. And that's going to be first and second on air. Runner to third. F score, and Frank White's going to score on a throwing error by Frank VIOLA. And the batter's going to get down the second. Ain't that awful? Now it's a 1-run game with a runner down at second. And only 1 out. And SABERHAGEN's got good speed. A single probably scores him and ties this game up. And here's Johnny. 0 for 1 today. He did walk, stole a base, and scored his first time up. That's going to be a fly ball out to Puckett in center field. That'll be out number 2. And the inning should be over. But now you got Wilson up. Wilson's 0 for 2 today. Can he drive in Brett and tie this game up? Nope, that's a fly ball out to Puckett again. So Frank, with his own error, cost himself a run. It's 5-4. So we go to the 5th inning. Got the top of the order due up here. Knobloch, Carew, and Puckett hanging on to a 1-run lead. Chuck is 0 for 2 today. And he's 0 for 3. That's a ground ball down to Washington. Over to Sweeney for out number 1. And Rod Carew grabs a bat and comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. Can he get something started here? And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. Carew turns on it. And Collins gets over there, holds him to a single. That brings up Kirby Puckett. Kirby's already sent 1 out of the yard today. He's 1 for 2 with a homer back in the first. And that's going to be against the righty, 21. And that's going to be a fly ball, pop-up rather, down the third. Brett calls for it and makes the catch. And there's 2 down. So it's up to Joe to do something with Carew down at first. And Joe's 1 for 2. He singled his last time up and came around to score. 16. And that's going to be a base hit, infield hit for Joe again. That's 2 infield hits, folks. So Joe's aboard with 2 outs, first and second, and here comes Killebrew. Killebrew is 0 for 2 rather. He is struck out and flown out. Can Killebrew add to this 5-4 lead here? That's going to be a swing and a miss. SABERHAGEN strikes him out. The Twins strand 2 to the bottom of the 5th we go. You got Sweeney due up, followed by Perez and Callens. You got the 3, 4, 5 hitters due up. Mike is 2 for 2, 2 singles today. And they finally get him out. Carew grabs that one, calls off Frank, takes it himself, and there's 1 down. And Perez is 2 for 2. He's got a 3-run homer and a single his last time up. And that's going to be the first time they get him out, but that's a deep drive in the center. Puckett makes a nice catch for out number 2. And old Al Callens is up 0 for 2. Hit the ball right on the button, but right at Knobloch his last time up. And that was going to be 13. And that's going to be a single in the center field. Knobloch can't get to this one. So a base hit in the center field for Al Callens. And UL's up. Tie and run at first. Go ahead, run at the plate. Washington 1 for 2 on the ball game. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Tony and right. And that'll do it. They strand Al at first. To the top of the 6th we go. And talking about Tony, he's due to lead off this inning. Oliva, Bostock, and Polanco. As you see, Kansas City is going to stay here at home and take on the Blue Jays for 3 games. And then they're going to go out west and take on Oakland in Oakland. And Tony is 2 for 2 with 2 homers on the day, folks. Can he do 3 for 3 with 3 homers as we drop the dice? Nope, but that is a drive down the first baseline. He turns on it off the wall down there near the line. And that's going to be a double. Just missed his 3rd homer, folks. Tony Oliva has eaten BRET SABERHAGEN up today. Whew. So you got a runner down at second and nobody out for Bostock. He doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. 55 and a 9. And that's going to be a pop-up. Washington near the mound makes the catch for out number 1. Big out there. And Jorge do something here. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI single his last time up. And that's going to be a 39. Catcher, 45 and a 9. That should be fielding column 1. And it is. And they pick off Tony Oliva at second, folks. Picked him off at second. Unbelievable. I don't know what he was thinking. Now there's 2 down and nobody on. And here's the pitch to Polanco. And that, of course, what happens after a pickoff? A base hit, right, folks, in the right field. Now Frank's up, and that would have probably drove in a run. So now you got a runner down at first, 2 outs, and Frank's 0 for 2 today. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. SABERHAGEN strikes Frank out. That's his 5th strikeout of the game. Costly pickoff makes this still a 5-4 ball game. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. You got BRET, White, and SABERHAGEN due up here in a 1-run game. And George, he drives this ball in the right field. Oliva gets to it, takes it on the bounce, though. That'll be a leadoff single. Now you got Frank White up. And Frank has struck out against Frank VIOLA and walked and came around the scores last time. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. So VIOLA's won 2 out of the 3 battles against the Frank. And now you got SABERHAGEN up. SABERHAGEN, let's see here. I should have done that different. I'm not going back because he didn't get a sacrifice. He shouldn't have got charged with an at bat. But anyway, SABERHAGEN's going to try to bunt. The last time he bunted, it was a 2-base error on VIOLA, and a run came around the score to make it a 5-4 ball game. So Brett's going to try to bunt again here, and that's going to be a ground ball. Nope, that's 2 strikes on him. He doesn't get it down. Misses. He's going to bunt again, and that's going to be a rare play here. So we got a rare play of 33 on a 36. 33 on a 36. That's going to be a 7. And that's going to be hit down the first. 55 and a 3. Not going to be good here. And that'll be fielding column 3. And that's going to be a bunt single, running to third on the air. So SABERHAGEN, let's see here. How can I give him a bunt single here? Let's look. They put this in here. I don't want that either. I don't want that. So we're going to do a bunt single, and the runner's going to get the third. So it's going to be where was it bunted to? Down the first. So it's going to be and I get the runner down the third. We're going to have, he didn't get down the third. One. I'm not going full with it. We're just going to advance him. That'll just be a quicker way to get it done. Now he's down at third. So you got a runner down at third, first and second, and 2 outs. What the hell happened to SABERHAGEN? Back. Undo. SABERHAGEN's supposed to get a single out of this. Right. Oh, let's try this. We need to give him an error too. I'm screwing this all up. So go. See if this does it. See if this does it. Nope. What the world? A single and a throw in there. Let's try that. Okay, let's try this. Let's try this. Do a 1B, 1B, E, 3, P. Let's see if this works. There we go. Now we got it. Sure, that took too long. That took too stinking long. Sorry about that, but we finally got it. Finally got it. And he gave him an error, right? Score a hit and an error. Perfect. And now you got first and second. First and third, only one out. They're going to play the infield in with Johnny Damon. Damon is 0 for 2. He has walked, scored, and stole a base today. And that's going to be against the lefty, 14. And that's going to be a single in the left field. And that's going to score George BRET. And BRET Saberhagen is going to stop at second. We got us a tie ball game, folks. It is 5-5. And BRET Saberhagen is doing the job here with these bunts. And they're screwing the pooch on these bunts. So now you got first and second. It's still only one out in a 5-5 ball game. And Wilson's 0 for 3 today. And that's going to be against the lefty, 13. And that's going to be another single. And that's going to fill the bases, folks. An infield hit by Willie Boy. And now it's bases full. And Frank's all of a sudden struggling here in the 6th. Nowhere to put Mr. Sweeney. And Sweeney's having a damn good game. He's 2 for 3. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. And let's see. Saberhagen's got good speed. Let's see here. That's going to be a left field of 42. 25. 25 there. So they're gonna tag up at second and third. And Saberhagen, they're going to try to throw him out. And that'll be a 51 or lower. Saberhagen safe. And they take the lead and they throw him out. Nice job by Bostock. Fly ball out the left field. And he throws BRET Saberhagen out at the plate and keeps this a 5-5 ball game. I was only 2 out. That should have been 3 outs. What the heck? Undo. Undo. It's supposed to throw him out. Sorry about that. Screwing this all up. So it's going to be a fly ball out the left. Runner gets thrown out, and that ends the inning. There we go. And it's a 5-5 ball game as we go to the top of the 7th here. And you got the top of the order due up here against BRET, SABERHAGEN, Knobloch, Carew, and Puckett. And Chuck is 0 for 3 today. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. SABERHAGEN strikes him out for the 2nd time today. And you got Rod Carew up. And Carew, he's 1 for 3, singled his last time up. And that's going to be a back-to-back strikeouts. Old BRET now is feeling it. You see the Twins are 5-5, batting .230 with a .298 on base percentage, slugging .435 with a .733 OPS. KC is 6-4, batting .200 with a .256 on base percentage, slugging .390 with a .646 OPS. And here's Puckett with 2 down, nobody on. He's 1 for 3 with a homer today. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. Puckett having a nice game. So the go-ahead runs down at first. And to the plate steps Joe. Joe's batting 2 for 3 today. He's singled his last 2 times up. Pitch to Joe. As we drop a dice. And that's going to be a 35 and a 9 against the righty. That's a 16. And that's going to be another hit. So Joe with his 3rd hit of the day, folks. He is just tearing it up here. So Joe's got an infield hit. And now you got the go-ahead run down at 2nd. 1st and 2nd, 2 outs, and Killebrew's up. Killebrew's having a rough day. He's 0 for 3. He has struck out twice and flown out. And that's going to be popped up behind home plate. Perez takes the mask off, makes the catch, and the Twins strand 2 as we go to the 7th inning stretch. It's a 5-5 ball game. So now we go to the bottom of the 7th in a 5-5 game. You got Perez, Collins, and Washington due up. Can they get Frank through this 7th inning is the question. Perez is 2 for 3 with a homer and a single, a 3-run homer in this game. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He gets him out of here for out number 1. And Al Collins comes up. He's 1 for 3. Singled his last time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out the Puckett in center field for out number 2. Wells up now. Washington 1 for 3 with a stolen base today. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And that'll end the inning, folks. A 1-2-3 inning after that rough 6th. Go to the top of the 8th, still tied up at 5 apiece. You got Killebrew due up, followed by, Oliva due up, followed by Bostock and Polanco. And Tony 3 for 3, folks, with 2 homers and a double and 3 RBIs. And that's going to be a single. So he's a triple away from the cycle today, folks. A perfect 4 for 4 ball game. Tony down at first. And Bostock's up. And he is 1 for 3. And BRET, when's he due up? BRET's due up 3rd. So they definitely want to see him get through this 8th inning. Bostock's 1 for 3. He's doubled and came around the score. And that's going to be against the righty 19. And that is going to be a ground ball down the short. 55 and a 9. That's going to be fielding column 2. And they're going to get the runner out at second on a 6-4 put out. Now Bostock's down at second, down at first. Then Jorge's up. He's having a good game. He is 2 for 3. He has singled twice and drove in a run. That's going to be 19. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Damon for out number 2. Still got a runner down at first. And that's going to be it for Frank VIOLA. They'll have a pitch hitter for him. As he goes 7 innings, he could still win this game if they could score here. Let's see who's coming off the bench. Justin Morneau's coming off the bench. Can Justin give the Twins the lead here, folks? Justin's batting .200 on the year. No homers and 2 RBIs. You see the Twins are 5-5 with 48 runs, 11 homers, 2 stolen bases have been caught twice. Casey 6-4, 35 runs, 9 homers, 12 stolen bases, and been caught twice. Can Justin do something here, folks, with 2 outs and a runner down at first? And nope, that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Washington fires over to first, and that's going to end the top of the 8th, and the Twins strand 1, and we go to the bottom of the 8th, still tied up at 5. Now let's see who's going to come out of the bullpen here. We got the lefty righty Corbett coming out of the bullpen. Doug Corbett's going to come out of the bullpen. Try to keep us a tie ball game. And we'll be facing the bottom third of the lineup. He'll be facing BRET, White, and probably a pitch hitter for SABERHAGEN. And George is 1 for 3. He singled and scored his last time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out the pocket for out number 1. And now we got Frank White up. And Frank's 0 for 2. He has struck out and twice and walked against Frank VIOLA. And that's going to be against the righty, 23. And that's going to be a ground ball right back to Doug. He picks it up, tosses it over to Carew, and now there's 2 down. And that's going to be it for SABERHAGEN. SABERHAGEN, again, he could still win this game. He can't lose it, but he could win it here. They can score before the inning's over. Let's see who's going to come off the bench for them. Mr. Mayberry. John Mayberry's coming off the bench here. And Mayberry is batting .176 on the year. He does have a homer and 6 RBIs, though. But not this time. That's a ground ball down the knob block. He fields it cleanly. He throws it over to Carew. And that'll be out number 3. We go to the top of the 9th in a 5-5 ball game. See who's going to come out here and pitch for the Kansas City Royals. And it looks like it's going to be Greg Holland's going to come out and try to keep this a tie ball game. What do we got up here? You got the righty, a lefty, and a righty. So Holland will come out of the bullpen. And this is Holland's 4th appearance. Yep, his 4th appearance. He's 1-1 with a 2.25 ERA. He's got the top of the lineup to deal with. Knobloch, Carew, and Puckett. And here's the pitch to Knobloch. And that's going to be a fly ball. Nope, that's a swing and a miss. Holland strikes him out for out number 1. Now you got Rod Carew up. Carew's 1 for 4 today. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts. Holland's coming out throwing heat, folks. What about him reminds you of Linda Ronstadt? He's throwing nothing but blue bayous. But here's the man. Kirby Puckett is 2 for 4 with a homer in this game. Singled his last time up. And that's going to be against the righty. 27. That's going to be a ground ball down to Frank White. And that'll be a 1-2-3 top of the 9th. To the bottom of the 9th we go, all tied up. And you got Doug Corbett out there in the bottom of the 9th. He's got the top of the order to deal with also. Damon, Wilson, and Sweeney. And Johnny is 1 for 3 with an RBI. He scored a run and stolen a base. And that's a base on balls, and that's not good. Damon is now down at first, and will he stay there? And I doubt it. He's going to take off and run here, folks. And that'll be a 62 or lower. He's safe, and he's down at second. So now you got the winning run down at second. Jamin's second stolen base of the game. Willie Wilson's up. And Wilson, does he want to bunt him down the third? Wilson's 1 for 4. He singled his last time up. They're going to let him swing away. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. And with Damon's speed, he's probably going to score easily. And that's going to be a single in the right field. Give Tony Oliva credit, folks. He gets over there and cuts that off. I thought for sure that was a double. That's going to be a single. And with nobody out, are they going to send Damon? Nope, they're going to keep Johnny at third. They're playing conservative here. Runners on the corners with nobody out. And you know Mr. Wilson, is he going to try to steal to keep the double play from happening? He will be a 64 lower. And he's in there with a stolen base. His run means nothing, but now they can't have the double play ball, folks. So now you got runners at second and third. They'll have to bring the infield in. And Sweeney's up, and Sweeney is 2 for 4. He has scored back in the first on a single. Here's the pitch to Mike Sweeney. Nobody out in a 5-5 game, bottom of the 9th, infield in. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. 46 and an 8. That is going to be barely fielding column 2. And that's going to be a single. And that's going to win this ball game, folks. Mike Sweeney with a walk-off single. And the Kansas City Royals win this game 6-5 in a walk-off fashion. Nice job, KC. Go here to the box score. Hell of a game. Hell of a game. Brett SABERHAGEN with them bunts is what got him the win here, folks. Those bunts didn't go well for the Twins. Costly errors on the bunts. Just didn't play good fundamental baseball. I'm sure this is the walk-off. Yep. And let's take a look here at the box score. And Kansas City 6 runs on 12 hits and no errors. The Twins 5 runs, 13 hits, out hit Kansas City, but couldn't outscore them in 2 costly errors. Look at that. You had Puckett and Joe 2 for 5 and 3 for 5. How about Tony Oliva? A perfect 4 for 4 with 3 RBIs. He tried to carry the Twins. Twins were 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position and left 7 men on base. And look at that middle of the lineup. Wilson, Sweeney, and Perez. 2 for 5, 3 for 5, 2 for 4. Perez with 3 RBIs, 6 for 12. Kansas City was with runners in scoring position, only left 7 men on base. Frank Viola gets a no decision, 7 innings, 10 hits, 5 runs, only 4 of them earned. Remember, though, the one unearned run was his own error. Walked 2, struck out 3, and gave up a homer. Corbett comes in, gets the loss. He drops to 2-2. 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 run, walked 1. BRET SABERHAGEN gets a no decision, goes 8 innings, gives up 13 hits, 5 runs, struck out 7, 3 homers. And Greg Holland picks up his second win. He's 2-1, 1 inning and 2 strikeouts. And let's take a look here at the standings and leaderboard after this 3-game series. The Yankees 5 games up on Toronto. The Orioles and Red Sox 5.5 games back. Tampa Bay 7. And Kansas City with the win is a half a game up on the Tigers. The Indians are a game and a half back. The Twins dropped to 2 games back with the loss. And the White Sox are 2.5 games back. And in the West, the Rangers are 2 games up on the Angels, 3 on the Mariners, and 4 on the A's. And Joe's leading the league now with a .452 batting average. And you still got 4 guys tied with 5 homers, and Roger Maris leading the league with 13 RBIs. And you got David Price with no ERA. 10-plus pitchers were 4 with 2 wins, and JJ with the Mariners with 4 saves. And you got Derek Jeter leading the MVP votes for the American League, and Whitey Ford's leading with the Cy Young. Our next game on the channel will be in a National League game. Let's see who it's going to be here. And it's going to be the Florida Marlins taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Josh Beckett going up against Doug Drabek. Let's see how many game series this is. There's 1, 2, 3. That's a 4-game series between the Marlins and the Pirates. So a 4-game series coming up next on the channel. I want to thank Philip Reynolds for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit the bell for reminders. Until next time, y'all have a great day and take care.